Hello everyone, TMMgamer here, and today I have the pleasure of bringing you another one of my FIFA videos. Now, as you can see from the title, today's video is not going to be about FIFA 13, but it is in fact going to be about FIFA 14, because last week, EA hosted several FIFA YouTubers, and I think Calfreezy and Zerka were two of them off the top of my head. I can't remember the others, apologies for that. But EA hosted them, they let them play a little bit of FIFA 14, and they gave them a presentation on some of the new features coming out in Ultimate Team, and some of them are really, really interesting. So over the next few minutes, I'm going to be running you through some of those. Now, the first one that's really, really interesting is the return of just single online matches. And as you guys know from Ultimate Team this year, the only matches you can play are competitive ones, so they're either a league system or they're a gold cup. And I was watching Zerka's video on this yesterday, or earlier today, sorry. And what he was saying, and I completely agree with this, is that the league system was, it's a great addition, something that Ultimate Team desperately needed. But the problem with removing that single player, just the one game where you can just go in and there's no pressure on you, that really does encourage that sort of sweaty, in inverted commas, play style, where people are just going all out for victory because they don't want to get relegated or they want to win that gold cup. So they're using that pace trampy side with the 92 pace strikers that are hacking it up and are squaring it across the 6-yard box and tapping it in. And that took a little bit of enjoyment out of Ultimate Team for me, because the great thing about Ultimate Team is any team you can imagine you can do. But the problem with that is, if you're in a Division 1 game and you need to win your last 2 games to stay up, or you need to win your last game to win the league, are you going to trial your silver Brazilian team or your championship English team? Of course not. You're going to roll with your strongest squad and you're going to try and beat the guy so you can win the league, or you get promotion, or you win the gold cups. So I think EA mentioned that this was their most recommended and most requested change that they made, and I really do agree with this. It's a fantastic addition because it will just enable people to just try new teams, or when they just want to play a little bit of relaxing Ultimate Team and they don't want to go in and try hard and they just want to try a few skills and just have a bit of a relax, you can go and play that single online match. So that's a great addition, and I'm so super thrilled that that's back. But the next thing is another really interesting thing, and that is a deeper chemistry system, because as you guys know, in this FIFA you have chemistry. So if a player's in the right position, if he's surrounded by people of the same club, league or nation, he gets a boost to chemistry, and that means your team plays better, they all move better. It's just generally a very, very good thing. But the major problem with this is it's very, very restrictive. Whenever I talk to my friends who play FIFA but don't play Ultimate Team, the major reason they tell me is because they don't like the rigidity of the system. You can only have one team at a time, or you have to have multiple teams. It's very, very difficult to change. If you want to change formation, you have to buy formation cards for everyone, or you have to sell your entire team and start again, because otherwise they take that massive chemistry hit and they don't play as well. And the problem with this is, if you're like me and you want to try a massive variety of teams, you get a little bit frustrated with just playing the same way every time, and you like to keep it fresh, it really is a big, big effort to change it round. But the new deeper chemistry system they're implementing is a way to try and get round this a little bit. So let's just run into a little bit more detail. As they say on their official website, and if you want to find out more information, I will link this in the description, but EA state there are a variety of different foot chemistry styles for goalkeepers, defenders, midfielders and forwards. Every chemistry style affects different players' attributes, which makes each individual play style stand out within the game. So, for example, and they give this example, if you want to increase your striker's scoring ability, you may choose to apply an attacking chemistry style boost to their attacking attributes. So instead of having to, change your entire formation to get a different outcome with your striker, you can just apply a slight little boost to your striker to make him play in a different way. So that will keep things very, very flexible. They don't go into too much detail on that, but it's a very, very interesting system that they're talking about, and I'm really, really interested to see how they're going to bring it on, because like I said, that is one of the major problems with Ultimate Team. It is a bit too rigid, and you have to make a lot of coins to have the flexibility of having multiple squads. So hopefully this little change will help do that. And one other thing I wanted to quickly mention on a related topic is a new player loyalty system, and this replaces the morale system that we have in this FIFA, where if you go on a good run of games, your players' morale goes up and they get a small boost and they play better, etc, etc. But what will happen in FIFA 14 is that whenever you buy a new player off the transfer market, he won't have any loyalty to your club, which is, you know, quite legitimate. When a new player joins your club, and the longer he stays, the more loyalty he gains. And it says here, these new players will have to play 10 matches before they unlock loyalty. But the great thing is, if you buy a pack and you get a player in that pack, your player will have loyalty already. So it's a little bit more of an incentive to get packs, but I think that's a decent idea because, you know, in the morale system it was a little bit straightforward. You could go and buy a player with high morale in the transfer market and he would come in and do a fantastic job. You know, it's not how it really works in real life, so I think this little bit of extra depth is a very, very good addition. But another nice addition is, not only have they brought in these online single matches, they've expanded the season mode too, so it's now 10 leagues instead of 5. And this is a really, really good thing because I felt that, you know, there were too wide a skill level of players in each league, especially Division 1. You know, so many people got to Division 1. You would play a guy who was absolutely incredible, and, you know, he'd give you a massively tough game, and then next game you'd play a guy who was average and you beat him 5-0. And it was a little bit stop-start because occasionally you just breeze through a league season and do very well, and then the next season you'd come up against, you know, really tough matches and you'd struggle and you'd have to play very, very well to win. So I think by introducing the 10 league system, it would stretch the players out a little bit and mean that you play against players of your skill level a lot more often. That can only be a good thing because there's nothing more frustrating than running up against a guy 3 or 4 times as good as you and he just sticks 15 goals past you. Because I can understand if you're a new player and you lose that heavily, you know, that's going to be a strong anti-motivation to play. So that's a great new addition. But as well as this, they've really begun to tweak what you can do with the squads, because one of the major annoying factors for me, and this is only a really small thing, but you can tell how much OCD I have, all of the goalkeepers had the number 2 this year, and that really, really bugged me because, you know, I used to play right back and I used to wear number 2, so I was like, that's a right back's number, why can't the keeper have a number 1? And I was really annoyed that you couldn't change that. But the great thing is, for the first time ever in Ultimate Team, you can now change your squad players' kit numbers and set piece takers directly from the squad screen. So you can alter your players' set pieces on the fly. You don't have to do it in the match, and that is absolutely fantastic. So it just makes it a lot more streamlined. And this new streamlined idea carries across to the transfer market as well, because the transfer search was a little bit, you know, hectic. It was a massive behemoth. There was millions of auctions going on at once. You know, trying to find the right player was a real pain, because you'd have to go into sub-menu after sub-menu of the search section, and even then there were plenty of players who ticked the multiple boxes, so you'd be sifting through page after page of players you didn't want to sign to try and find the right guy. But the great thing they've introduced for the next FIFA is that you can finally search for players by name, and that is going to save so much time in the long run. That's a really good addition. But as well as this, you can compare players directly from the transfer page to the players in your squad. So if you want to buy a replacement but you're like, I'm not sure if his defending's high enough, I'll compare into my current set of players and see how good he is in relation. So these are some really, really nice changes, and the good thing is EA have mentioned that they're going to be introducing a lot more things, and they're going to be announcing those introductions in the next few weeks. I think it was at Gamescom they said. So hopefully the next raft of things that they introduce and, you know, show to us will be up to the standard of these, because I think every single change that they've said so far has been a positive step forward. And like I mentioned earlier, if you want to read EA's own words, I will link in the description the webpage where I got all of this from. So if you want to check that out in your own time, the link will be in the description. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've learned something about FIFA 14, and as always, have a great day.